Welcome to another episode of the Bikini and the Brain. We are here with the number one American bikini pro. That's what I should say. 3 years running, number 3 in the world. 3 years running. Ashley Kaltwasser.
Hi, everyone. Wow, what a weekend.
What a weekend.
We passed the class. We passed the year.
Final exam,
we passed it.
And look at this giant medal you can eat your dinner off of.
I did eat my dinner.
Does it cover your whole face?
It
covers your
does.
whole face. Yeah,
Yes.
it covers your whole That is so cool. Congratulations.
Thanks and congratulations, Coach Adam.
What a weekend. Man.
Wow.
I know we're both like
Drained.
Yeah.
Post-show hangover times 10.
Times 10. And it was the most unsuspecting time consumption ever, right?
The busiest Olympia I've ever been to ever. I had probably about 15 minutes to actually sit down and actually relax. Everything else was like go, meeting, commitment here, commitment there. So much goes into the Olympia. And I don't think people realize as an athlete, you have to do all these things. And it drains you. It drains you before you even step on stage. On top of that, you're close to a show anyway. So you're already like, ah.
Yeah. It's funny is every year, like you didn't do your check-ins this Olympia week and I didn't either. I told everyone like, hey, I take 2 weeks off a year. I'm going to take one of them during this Olympia week, but I've never done it before.
Mm-hmm.
And there was no way.
Yeah.
There was like minutes a day available, like minutes.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, even for me, I hate canceling, but I had like a pre-show massage thing scheduled, a pre-contest blush massage, and I had a photo shoot that I had to cancel because I literally just did not have time. And I think most of it had to do with not even things in our control, but things like commitments. They ran overtime, which then led into the next commitment. You don't have any time to go back and relax. You have to go right to it.
Yeah.
And then right to the next, into the next, into the next. Everything took so much longer than what we were expecting.
Yeah. Yeah, because it was even hard to get all the food in. Like there was a time we went to the press conference, which was
over 2 hours.
Yeah, usually that's an hour.
And they had to have us there like an hour before too.
Yeah, and then that led into not having a break to go into check-ins, which led into another like a meeting, right? It was like
and then after the meeting, they're like, Ashley, can you stay for an interview? So then I stayed for an interview, and then I had to go to another meeting, and I did literally had no time to eat, drink, relax, go. It was non-freaking stop, and then to meet the athletes.
Yeah.
Whoa, that's another. Whew.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's exhausting, but this is cool. So for you guys, when you make it to that level, just know a lot goes with it. It's not just getting on a bikini and getting on stage, like a whole back side of it. It is. Yeah.
Absolutely. And not only to mention we're jet lagged because we're in a new time zone. Our flight was canceled, delayed, and then we got in so late, which actually early, I guess you could say, in the morning. Like what was it, like 1:30 or something?
Yeah.
I didn't get to bed till like 5. Like it was bad.
Yeah.
It was bad.
Yeah.
But when I did arrive, they upgraded my room for no reason.
You did baller suite.
I know, because they were like, do you mind if your room has a stand-up shower? And I like to take Epsom salt baths before I compete, right? And I was like, do you have any with like a tub? Because I know they do have rooms with tubs because I had a client that used a bath. So I was like, do you by any chance have any available? He's like, let me see what I can do. They're like, well, how about this? I'll just upgrade you for free. Thinking like, okay, I get a bath now and maybe an extra sofa couch or something. It was a freaking whole apartment. Yeah. It was like an executive suite. Like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, it was a baller suite.
I was like, whoa, okay.
Yeah, it was a full apartment, and it was like a nice full apartment.
With the kitchen and everything.
Yeah, so thank you, Rosen Center, for that. That made it a lot better. It was baller. It was there were so many chairs. Why are there so many chairs in that office?
Oh, there was like so 20, so many tables and chairs.
Yeah, it was awesome though. I think everyone walking by was like, "Oh, Ashley K. Fit gets a special drink."
Yeah, it was like a hotel room that opened with 2 doors. Like it opened both doors. Yes. Like I'm like, whoa, this is very unnecessary. I'm just one person. Okay, thank you.
made it a lot better. There was a lot of positives that came for that trip. Yeah.
It was hard. The hardest weekend, but it was worth it.
Yeah. And next year they announced it is going to be literally so if we go out to our parking lot, we can see the hotel that it's going to be at. It's the third closest hotel to our gym here. If you go in my backyard of the prep center house, you could see the whole thing. It's so, I'm like, yes, 9 minutes.
Thank goodness it's going to be back here. It's
Yeah.
so much easier. Well, this is our selfish reasons, but it's so much easier for us that we won't get the jet lag, but it'll still be busy. It always is busy.
I'm going to be scooting there. I'm just going to be scooter status. Yeah.
There you go. There you go.
So Ashley, we got to get into the meat and potatoes of this.
Yes.
How do you feel?
I'm like, it's soaking in. Like, I'm like, I can't believe I freaking did that. I did it again. How am I still here? I don't know, but I'm here. I'm still here, guys. What's up? I can't believe it. I'm so happy. You know, I always use the analogy like, if you were to roll the dice and redo the competition, would you risk that? And I would say no. So with every show, you're going to make little mistakes, some little, some big, some you're going to like beat yourself over. But I mean, I did make some small mistakes, but I think all things considered, I wouldn't change how we prepared.
Yeah.
You know, of course, hindsight is 2020, and knowing things we know now, we might have came in a little fuller or even softer, you know, but there would be no way for us to know, you know. So with that being said, satisfied, 100%.
Yeah.
I wouldn't roll the dice again. Nope. How about you?
No, I'm happy with a lot of things on how it went. I think here's the thing with like the Olympia with the top three, they're so different that interchangeably you could make each one of them the champion out of those top three and then give a reason why, and everyone would be like, oh, okay. Like no one would be upset if you're like, oh, Maureen wins because of this. Or
oh, everyone will be upset.
Yeah.
Whoever wins, they always get like, I don't know how she won.
That is true.
I don't know. I mean,
I am getting those emails that you should have won because of this already, you know?
I'm sure you get those emails saying I should won, or I'm sure there's also people like, how did she even get in the top three? Like, I'm tired of seeing her go away. I'm sure there's a big mix, but you know, that's the Olympia for you. Yeah. If you're a competitor at the top, you're going to get criticized, you're going to get praised. So anyway, but going back to what you said, anybody, you could make an argument for somebody to win. You could make an argument for anyone why they shouldn't win too.
100%, yeah. And then looking at just your physique alone with how they like you, the thing I'm happiest about this Olympia is pushing the carbs and pushing the fullness for you, and also you being confident in doing that too. Yes. Like as an athlete, you're growing, because that was hard for you a couple years ago to be like, okay, I'm going to chase the fullness and eat these carbs, and like you had to really believe it's going to work and take it's risky, you know, because that's not something that you needed to do before, and now you got to be fuller, you got to be, you know, and so you're never going to be as tight when you're pushing the fullness a little bit and walking that line. I think we walked it as tight as we could have, you know, because you went after it and you chased that, and you know, maybe you could have been a tiny bit, but I don't think it would have. I think it was already so different, right, it wouldn't have changed the outcome. But I'm just really happy with your growth as an athlete, not only from stage to stage, because that's, you know, last year to this year, you're improved and everyone can see it. There's like probably three things I'm really happy about, actually, when I think about it. The stage to stage improvement, your shoulders are fuller, even your glutes are a little fuller and more complete. The tie-ins are fuller. You know, your conditioning this year, because we're fuller, was a little bit softer than last year, which is actually what Tyler asked for when he did that review video. He was like, she's a little tight. And I don't think anyone's going to be saying that now. But the other thing I'm really happy about is the judges that we have talked to, none of them said you need fuller shoulders. Not one.
No.
Which is awesome. Like
nobody said anything in particular about any certain body part. They said in general, maybe you were slightly just a smidgen too lean, but so far no one said like, oh, you need to bring up this particular body part. So that's a win for me.
100%. And I think it's good for people to hear this part of it too, when they say, here's the thing, when they say to Ashley, maybe you were a smidge too lean, she doesn't take it as, oh, if I was a little bit softer, I would have won. And I think that's important for people to know, like when you're getting your own feedback, because they have to give you feedback if you ask for it. And they're talking about, how do you create absolute perfection? maybe whatever, maybe a pound we could have had more on Ashley. Does it mean she would have won? I don't think it would have changed anything based on the body types, because it's not like she lost because of it, you know? So if the body types were a lot closer, maybe it would be different, but the body types are so different that it's kind of like, what do you like, you know, kind of scenario. Yeah.
Exactly. I agree 100%. So yeah, I felt good about it. Like I've had a few judges say this is the best you've ever looked. Like I said, they even complimented me, like, your presentation's gotten better. We like it, the walk, the everything. So that made me really happy. I was really satisfied. It's like hard to ask for more. I just still can't believe it. Like, I am impressing myself every time, and I don't even know how I do it. Like, I really don't. But if one thing that I'm learning about myself, if I want to give myself a little bit of credit, I hate pressure. I hate it. It sucks. But dang, I do well under it. I do so well under it. Like, throughout the season, you'll see girls, like, sometimes they'll beat me or whatever. But I show up at the Olympia when it matters the most. Like, I show up. You know what I mean? So not that I don't give effort throughout the entire season, of course not. But it's like a whole new focus when I'm in Olympia mode. I am just like laser focused. I am like, I'm going to fill in every gap. I'm going to leave nothing left on the table. I'm going to do everything in everything possible to be my 100%, you know? So I'm learning that, hey, I hate pressure, but I do well under it. So
yeah. And that prep wasn't an easy prep. I think mentally that prep wasn't an easy prep.
No, I would agree. I would say physically it wasn't bad at all, but mentally it always is for Olympia.
Yeah.
It's the final exam. If you see my demeanor training for the Olympia compared to like just a regular show, Vancouver or whatever, I'm totally different. It's totally different.
The mood's different. The weight's
mood
different.
is different. My personality is different.
Yeah. The weight is heavy.
Yeah, it is heavy. It's like, it's a whole nother level. It's so much more eyes on you. And like I mentioned, it's the final exam. If you fail the final exam, you fail the class, you fail the year. You have a sucky year if you don't do well at the Olympia, in my opinion, and most people's opinion, because they'll remember you by how well you did at the Olympia. Oh, Ashley, third at the Olympia. They don't think like, oh, well, she got like this show, she got that. Like, no, everything gets thrown out the door. What did you do at the Olympia? How did you come in? So for better or for worse, that's a lot of pressure. And somehow I rise to the occasion for the past 3 years, and I'm surprising myself. I don't know how I'm doing this, but I'm so grateful.
Yeah, it was awesome. It was awesome to see that the utter joy when they called the top 3 off.
Oh my God, you have no idea how happy I was.
Yeah.
Did you vlog that?
I have it.
Did you? I can't wait to see your reaction.
Yeah, I have it on video. And
your reaction be like, oh, okay. All right.
Sometimes I'm more reserved when I'm vlogging because I know there's going to be like, a few thousand people that see it. And I don't want to be like, like saying any bad words or anything because I'm like so excited. Yeah. But I was very excited. Yeah, I was super excited. I was like, super excited. Because I was like, okay, don't call forth. Don't call forth. Like I was like, it was like anxious excitement because I was like, they could still send one more off.
Yeah.
And then I was like, okay, because you're just living in this like moment of like, you're so anxious the whole time as the coach, right? So you're just sitting there and there's nothing you can do. And you're just like, besides like, I'll text you after you do your individuals and stuff. But once it gets past that point, you're done. There's nothing you can do. I can't correct you. No way you're going to hear me. No way you're going to see me. So it's like, okay, it's all her right now, right? And you're just like in this moment, your heart rate's up. And it's like you're riding a roller coaster, like legit riding a roller coaster. And then you get that first call out and you're like, you go, right? Yeah. And then like you go off, you go down, the top 3 callback, and you just go down the hill, right? You're like, all right, you're like excited, right?
Yeah.
And then the rest of it, when they're doing all the call outs, you're just tick, 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 tick up this huge hill, and your heart rate's like, oh, here comes the drop. Here comes the drop. And right. And then they do the top. So there was 2 more, right? They did the top, the 10 through 4 callback, right? And I was like, how many are they calling? How many are they calling, right? How many are they calling? And then they called all the way where it was 7. And I was like, oh, crap, that should mean she's top 3. So I'm like, oh, crap, that means she's top 3. Oh, crap. And then at the same time, I'm like, oh, crap, Phoebe's not there. Phoebe's not in that top 10. That means she got 11th, which means she won't be at the night show. So I'm like, heartbroken and excited at the same time. And then they start moving athletes out. So I'm like on two sides of this fence here. They start moving athletes out, and I'm like, and I'm texting Phoebe backstage, and I'm like, stay there, because they're moving this girl out. She keeps getting moved out. They're seeing what I'm seeing, and I think you should be beating her. And they started moving her and moving another girl. And I was like, I think you could beat both of these girls right now. And they're seeing it, right? I think they're seeing it. We're going back and forth texting. I'm like, just stay there. She's like, I'm right here. I'm like, they might call people back if they're seeing what I'm seeing. And then they did it. And she was like, yeah, that's it. I got 11th. I was like, yeah, awesome placing. Still top 15 in the world, like 7 days a week. I'm super, super happy with it. But that 10th spot is like, the top 10 is where you really, someone's got to be 11th, right?
There, yeah.
So then that dies, right? And then I'm like, okay, top 3 call back. Okay, don't keep anyone on the stage. Please don't get anyone in this mix, because I don't, you're happy with top 3. At that place, you're like, okay, 3rd place is worst case scenarios, 3rd place at this, which is freaking awesome, right? And then I'm just waiting. So I'm like, you're still, when those top 3 are called back, you're still ticking up.
Yeah.
Because they could call a 4th in.
Oh,
anytime.
yeah. They could be like, hey, come join. Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm like, and there's this thing I'm calling now, guys. I'm going to coin it. The Iron Gate, right? Which is U5 in the Olympia, the top 5. The Iron Gate, man. It's like the Pittsburgh Steelers had, like, I think it's called the Iron Shield or something like that, or whatever it's called. You guys are the Iron Gate. That top 5, holy cow. What? Seriously, no other division is as hard as your guys' division in that top 5. 4 Miss Olympias and 1 2-time, I think it's 2-time second place Olympian. Like,
and international.
Oh, and Miss Bikini International twice. How the hell do you get in there, right? Like, there's no other division that's even close to this Iron Gate. You guys are the gatekeepers, right? It's insane, honestly, like trying to get through that Iron Gate, right? And I'm like, man, this top 5 is as best as it's ever been. There's actually never been a time where this has happened. There's never been a time in bikini where you had this tough of a top 5. Like, there's no division like that. There's none. It's craziness. There's nothing like that. So for you to be in there and holding it down 3 years running is like,
it's crazy.
Geez.
Like 10 years later after my first win, by the way, 10 years and I'm still here.
Yeah.
That's why they call me the cockroach,
Yeah. So it was a roller coaster of emotions. I was like drained. I felt like I just finished. Like, I don't even know what I felt like I just finished.
A marathon.
Something. Like, it was like, it just so utter exhaustion. And it was just like, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then we had no time. We had to run right away, right?
Oh, yeah. And even speaking of things running behind, I mean,
oh, yeah.
Oh, gosh. This is one thing. It's like, I was expecting to go on at like 11. They said bikini girls be here at 10. Okay. And so, of course, I'm always early. So I went there at 9:30. And then we're waiting. Everyone's sitting around. And then they're like, hey, after the men are done, we just decided to take an hour intermission.
Yeah.
So we actually didn't go on until 2, which I knew it happens. But if I knew that, I probably would have tried to sleep a little more. Which, by the way, the night of the show, 3 hours of sleep. Yep. 3. Only 3. That whole trip, I couldn't adapt to the time zone. I couldn't adapt. My body just would not adapt to the time zone. So anyway, and also I would have continued to drink water. Like, you don't want to drink a whole bunch of water right before you go on because of the water belly. You don't want to look pregnant on stage with water. Bikini need the smallest little waistline possible. If I would have known that, I would have been drinking probably till like noon.
Yeah.
But I didn't know. No one knew. So we're all in that same boat.
Yeah, we're all just like waiting to go on stage. We all just thought, okay, it's going to go on now. It's going to go on right after this. And then it's like, oh, hey, hour long. So yeah, it's tough.
It is tough. That the Olympia, it takes so much out of you before you even step on stage. And even after, we feel it right now. We feel it today. Yeah. I tried to work out today. I did a little arm pump. It's like, I feel like a zombie. I'm just like, I feel so crusty today. I feel crusty and out of sorts. Very crusty, though. This tan is like drying me out, especially coming from a humid place to Vegas.
Oh, yeah.
I woke up and my lips are like chapped. I don't know if you feel like, do you feel like drier here?
Not so much. I don't.
Not yet.
I hold decent moisture.
You know something? Congratulations, Adam. You were really good with your water intake this weekend.
Oh, thank you.
Like, you peed a lot. And I just want the whole audience to know, Adam was really good with his fluids this week. And if any week you could have given the excuse not to be, it would be this week.
There, yeah.
So good job.
Yeah, I wasn't the
good
best
job.
with my workouts. That sucked because there was so much going on, and I was like, oh, it's gonna be so funny. I went into the Olympia, and I even told her before. She's like, yeah, can you go to this or whatever. I was like, oh yeah, I'll be there all week. I have like nothing going on. I'm gonna work out with you, work out with Phoebe, and then I'll be like done by like 10 in the morning. I'm like, yeah, I'll be done by like 10. I'm just gonna be chilling. I was like, I'll just go work out. I brought my boxing gloves too because they had a bag there, and I was like, yeah, I'll be there for like probably like 3 hours a day, just kind of doing it. Nothing like an hour the whole week. I was like, yeah, that didn't happen. So
it was crazy.
Crazy.
So crazy. And I also want to say thank you, Adam, for dealing with me with my contest prep crankies. They were exceptionally bad. They were exceptionally bad for the Olympia this year. And not only was it because of the pressure, it was the lack of sleep. I was jet lagged, but you really dealt with a lot. And you were super patient with me. When I get cranky and tired, I complain about everything. I will complain about anything and everything. Like, I hate this sock. This sock sucks. Where's the other sock at? F this. Like, everything I'll complain about. Like, dumb things. And then I realized, what am I complaining about? I have a good life. This life I chose. Whatever. It is what it is. Got to make the most of it. So thank you, Adam, for your patience. And hopefully I wasn't overly demanding or bossy sounding, because sometimes when I'm kind of in that like go mood, I'm like kind of like maybe assertive. I don't know. Like
yeah,
really,
your bossy is not very bossy.
Okay, well,
that's okay. I'll be the boss 51 weeks.
Okay.
You be the boss. Yeah. No, it was fun. It was a good time, and it was just a lot. There was a lot to do. There was times where I was like, man, this is such a hard prep for you. Not because it was the demand of like the cardio or the diet. Like you don't really phase with that. Like the diet, it doesn't matter to you. You know, you're fine with it. The cardio, sometimes it'll phase you a little bit, but when the sleep was compounded with that, I was like, man, this is brutal. And every day every day for the last 2 months, I've asked you, how was your night of sleep the day before? Like, how much did you sleep last week? And yesterday, it was like 3 hours. Then you'd come in like, I got 6, and you're like celebrating a 6-hour sleep. And it was just that was why that prep was so crazy. So there was.
Well, I just the night before the shows, like the really like, well, you know.
Yeah.
So. But yeah, so you know, it is what it is.
Yeah. In the end, you did it again, though.
Mm-hmm.
Did it
That's
again.
right. We freaking did it again. How the heck do I do this 10 years later? I never thought I would still be doing this well.
It's crazy is that you've been like the only one that's been able to adapt to all the changes that have been in Bikini. You know,
It changes. It evolves.
Yeah.
Like I said, I don't know. I'm built to last, I guess.
You're just made for this.
I'm very durable.
Yeah, you're just made for this. There's just certain people that are just like made for their sport, and you just see them. Like Michael Phelps, he's like, you know, they make fun of him because he's got those like web fingers or something, the web toes. What is it?
Know that.
Yeah, like I guess his toes have like more skin in the middle of them than like the normal person, and they like make fun of it, like because he's tall, he's this huge wingspan, he's got those like web feet, right? Like they're making fun of it, but you get what I'm saying? Like he's made for the sport he chose, and it just seems more and more like you were just made for Bikini. It's like, oh, it goes this direction? Okay, my body can do that. Oh, it goes this direction? Okay, I'll do that. So it's like, it's pretty cool to see because it's incredibly hard to do, you know?
Yeah, it is tough. It is tough. And you just have to be like very studious, and you have to be willing to change and to accept any like feedback from judges and just try to accommodate to what they want, you know? So even now I see from this Olympia, it even got a little, I want to say a little fuller and softer too. So we have more changes to make, I guess. Although I don't think I'll ever be I don't look quite as good that soft, but maybe we can afford, just like you said, a pound maybe, but nothing too crazy. So they'll always say, the judges, like, you know, come in how your body looks the best, because we're all different and we can all hold body fat differently. So I think it's easy for somebody to sit back and be like, well, Ash will just, you know, eat more and come in softer. It doesn't really work like you think it does. Not everyone looks good that soft. Not everyone looks good as lean as I am. So you have to kind of go with what your body looks the best at. And that's why you saw like there is some diversity within the body fats, even in the top 10. I don't even think I was the leanest in the top 10 either. but maybe I was definitely the leanest in the top 3. So it makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I'm super happy with how things are gonna go. And here's the thing about bikini and how you said you got to be really studious. You have to not just be studious, but be studious right when it happens. You know, because if you realize that these things changed 6 months, 9 months down the road, then what's going to happen is you're going to be trying to catch up to that. But you catch it like right away. Like we study every show. We're like, okay, this is happening at this show. This is happening at that show. And so you're right when it's happening, we're making those changes. You know, if posing's changing a little bit, we start making those changes, right? So yeah, so I'm happy with how you've been able to kind of really adapt. And I do think you're right too with what you're talking about. Every girl's going to be different, and that's important on how you look best. And that's what I think is awesome about bikini is that with bikini, it's great for, I mean, almost every body type. Like they're going to find a way for you to look best, you know? So that's the thing about bikinis. Bikini is an art form. It's not a set criteria like bodybuilding, right? Bodybuilding, even though bodybuilding is an art form too, I don't want to take that away from it, but it's more set criteria, you know, biggest, leanest, most symmetrical, right? But with bikini, there's just so many variations. And it's like what looks best on that body type. You know, if you took someone who didn't know anything about the sport whatsoever, and you took, you know, Jennifer and you put her next to Ashley, and there's people would be like, is that the girl on the Ashley? Is she leaner? Is she at a different, like a leaner division, or is this a different like type of thing? So it's different for every competitor. And Jennifer looks great that way. You know, if she gets too hard, she doesn't do as well, right? So for her, that's the case. For Maureen, she has a special look too. It's a different scenario than Ashley. And if they were to switch conditioning, like if you just switched with one of them, it would go bad for both of you, not good for one of you, right? It would be just bad for all of you. So yeah, so it's just it's cool that it gives everyone that that option. And what's really cool too is like, for example, Maureen, we did a podcast with Maureen and Phoebe on, I don't know, it was Friday, was it with FemFlex Friday? And she said, you know, I like how the bikini, the criteria is right now because I'm not someone who can get shredded. Like my skin is thick and I don't get shredded. So, you know, that's a perfect example. If they said, hey, you have to get shredded, it wouldn't work for her, right? So it's cool because it just gives everyone an option. And I love that about bikini is like, you know, because there is no set criteria, it's like, how can we make you the best art form of you that you could be? And it's just great that category exists, you know?
Absolutely. And yeah, I love it. And you know, it's really, I just feel really at ease right now. Like the biggest weight has just been lifted off my shoulder. It's amazing. I'm so beyond satisfied and happy. It's like more than I could ever ask for. And for that, I'm very grateful to, you know, have the opportunity to do this. And, you know, this is like the last big show for a while because I will say, if you listen to the podcast, you probably know I'm not going to do the Arnold next year, I don't think, because I have to get my eye surgery. So, you know, I really wanted to make this one count. So, a lot of people will be like, why are you not doing the Arnold, Ashley? And it's because my eyeball, I see double vision 24/7. I can't turn it off, so I got to get it fixed again. But luckily, only one eye. So, hopefully, the recovery is not that crazy. But the thing is, I don't want to like submit for the Arnold if I'm not sure if I'll be able to recover in time. Maybe I would be able to recover in time. I'm not sure. But it would suck for me to not be able to recover and then have to drop out. I never like to drop out of a show. I think it looks bad. I'm like, if I commit to something, I freaking do it. So if I were to commit and not recover in time, then that would be bad, you know? So yeah, and by the way, I always put this disclaimer because people like always equate it to LASIK eye surgery. No, it's not like LASIK eye surgery. No, I'm not going to be better in 2 days because they'll be like, yeah, I got eye surgery too. You know, after LASIK, I was good, and in 48 hours you'll be fine. Like, no, I got to get put under the. Got to cut my eye muscles. Okay, so it's a little more invasive than LASIK. So there is a possibility that I'll return to the stage maybe like after the Arnold or so. We'll see how I'm recovering, how I'm feeling. But I'm glad that I got this because I'm not going to do the Arnold. So there you go. You heard it first. Not doing the Arnold Classic. I'm not putting in for it just in case I can't recover.
Well, you'll be missed. You will be missed.
No, I'm sure I won't be. They're probably happy I'm not. Let's be honest, Em. Whatever. I don't care. But next year, I do plan on competing a significant amount. So I won't be gone for too long, but definitely not going to try to rush my recovery for the Arnold. I got to be smart about it because I already put it off like a year.
Yeah.
I wanted to get it last year, and I was like, oh my gosh, Adam, should I just do the Arnold then? Maybe I should just do the Arnold. And you were like, well, but I should have gotten the eye surgery then, but now I have to get it for real. So
I'm glad you're getting it though.
yeah, so it's not going to get any worse or anything. And then I can see single, and hopefully that helps me on stage too, because it's hard out there.
Yeah.
It's hard out there
Especially
seeing
with those bright
double.
lights.
Oh yeah, it's expo lighting does well better for my eyes. I can see a little better, but like for example, finals with the strobe lights and the dim lighting, my eyes can't like adjust to the light properly, and it's like extra bad. I'm like, that's why I'm always like looking down and stuff, because that's the only way I don't see doubles. If I look down or if I look up, I start to see doubles. So anyway, no, I don't want that to me this to be a feel bad for Ashley pity party.
Yeah.
That's not the case. I'm just explaining why I'm not submitting for the Arnold.
You know what else we should explain too while we're talking about that and the lights and stuff? Because you told me something, and I don't think anyone really knows the scenario. Or maybe they do it on the announcements that I'm watching live, so I don't know what they're saying on the announcements, or on the commentary. But have you guys see people walk out of the O?
Yeah, that's only, you get to walk in the middle out of the O if you were a former Olympia champion. So there was 4 of us that walked out of that O.
Yeah, but it's like a special thing. It's a special thing to recognize the athlete when you walk out. But you want to tell about the smoke and stuff you have to walk through?
Oh yeah, the smoke that you see, like it's like opaque, and they have like back before they lift the metal garage door, it's like you just see strobe lights in your eyes, and I'm like, oh great. This is probably the worst scenario for my vision right now. So when I was standing there waiting to go on, I literally closed my eyes so hard and squinted so that I wouldn't let any of that strobe lighting come through. And then I'm like, oh my gosh. And then when you step forward, you're in a cloud of opaque smoke. And I'm like, this is going to make me dizzy. So I was like, I'm just going to walk through it. I didn't want to like try to pose in there too long or anything. I know a lot of girls did. It makes for a really cool photo, like posing with the smoke, but I'm just like, I got to get out of here. Otherwise I'm going to like trip on my heels, and it's not going to be fun. So I did what I had to do and just walked through it. And, but yeah, it was great. And yeah, it's like, I think I made it through okay. I think my presentation at the prejudging might have been better. I'm not sure. I didn't see my finals video yet, but all in all, pretty good. I felt pretty smooth in prejudging for sure. Yeah. I was definitely tired by finals. I don't know. Even my mood kind of like, I was like so hyped up, and then I'm like, okay, I'm getting tired now. Like I only had 3 hours of sleep. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
It's like
finals day bikini is the hardest division because they start it with you guys, and then they bring you back like towards the middle for your individuals towards the middle, and then at the end it's awards? Is that, or the confirmations in the middle?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah. But yeah, so we have a big gap in between. So I don't know why they do it like that, because men's physique is lucky because they had their individuals confirmation awards all together. Like there was no gaps. I'm like, dang it, why do they break us up like that?
Yeah, you get to start, middle, finish. Yeah,
it's like just
right before the bodybuilding finish. Yeah,
I just want to get it all in one. That would be nice, because it's like you're sitting backstage. It's really cold backstage too. It's like hard to get a pump when you're so cold. You're cold. You can't really eat much, right? Because you're about to go on again. Even sitting down, I'm like, I have to sit down so carefully because I have the glaze on, It was just like, but I don't want it to be like a complaint. Like, I'm so grateful. It's a lot of work, and it was a successful day, obviously. So I'm not complaining, but just kind of giving you a little insight, like what the athletes go through, kind of behind the scenes. Because I think we just see the competitors on stage looking all glamorous, but there's a lot that goes into it too. And even in the weekend in general. Wow, we're getting lots of comments. I can't even see.
Yeah, I can see it. So, but one of them. So what? So it wasn't.
One of us has good vision.
For now, we'll both have good vision soon. Someone commented it's not the Pittsburgh Steelers had the steel curtain.
Oh,
so not the iron gate, the steel curtain.
Well, you can do iron gate.
I like the iron gate. I don't want to be the same. So the iron gate, the gatekeepers. That's a cool thing. Because it's pretty consistent.
I'm honored.
Yeah, you're definitely in there. So pretty cool. I mean, it is so crazy how. That depth at the top, man, that depth is wild.
Yeah, it's insane.
I was thinking like of history. Well, obviously in bikini, there's never been anything like that. But in other divisions, I was like, is there any I was trying to think, is there any history where there's like a gatekeeper like that, where they're all the top Olympians are all placing at the top, like all people who won an Olympic are placing? Because sometimes you'll get an Olympian who won an Olympia, and he might come back for a year, but he'll be, not in that top 5 or something. But like for all of them still to be performing well, and and someone right at your toes who's like 2-time Arnold champ, and like it's like that is wild, man. It is a wild thing in the sport right now. I don't know if it'll ever be like that again. It's crazy.
Yeah, it is crazy, but it's also crazy how like not even just the top 5. It's like the field is so deep, and it's just like one thing that's so stressful about the Olympia is, I was talking to you about this earlier. It's so different because like if you make one small mistake, it can be the difference between first and like 15th. If you come in just a little bit off, same thing. Like Bikini is ruthless. They do not care who you are, how many shows you've won, what shows you've won. They don't care. It's how you look that day. And if you're off by just a little bit, game over.
Yeah.
You have to not only prep and hope everything goes good, you have to have a little bit of luck knowing that like something bad doesn't happen, or you know what I mean? So intense, which is like why it's like in a different category than like just your regular season shows. Like those shows are like fun shows to me. I'm way more relaxed. I'm more chill, not as much eyes on you, not as much pressure. Obviously, you're just there to have fun. Sometimes on one of these like regular season shows, you can make like a little mistake. Maybe you'll be okay. If it's not too big, you'll be okay usually. But at the Olympia, nope. Everything's so close and so tight. You have to be 100% on point, and you have to make sure nothing goes wrong, because things go wrong and sometimes you can't even help it. Like there was so many competitors that like dropped out or got injured or something happened this year. Not in Bikini so much, but like other divisions. And you see like, wow, somebody got food poisoning. What if that happens? What if this happens? What if your flight got so delayed that this and this happens? And then what ifs? There's so many like variables that can mess you up, and sometimes it's beyond your control. You just gotta like hope everything falls into place perfectly on show day. Yeah. It's like you gotta be on it. You gotta be.
Yeah. So I know that there was 49 total, and I know there was more qualified than that. I don't know how many were qualified. Was it 52 or 54?
52.
50. So 3 didn't make it. So who knows?
I know someone had visa issues.
Oh, okay.
Someone decided they didn't want to compete because they didn't think they were good enough. And then I don't know what happened to the other one.
Huh. Okay. Yeah. That's crazy. Still.
Yeah.
It's still like, you're talking 6% or something. Like everything has to go right.
Well, that's for Bikini, but like the other divisions, you saw it,
Yeah. Yeah. It's heartbreaking for some of them too. One guy got stopped at getting in, when he was already here, to the country, which is obviously beyond the Olympia's control. And then, Nick hurt his hamstring, which really sucks. A bodybuilding prep all the way through is like, it's heartbreaking to see that, So yeah, it's so crazy, man. The Olympia it's such a wild thing in our sport, So it's awesome that it's there.
It is.
Anyone who does Olympia champion ever, that person grinded to get there. So yeah, you're an elite group, Miss Ashley.
I know. How am I still here? I don't know.
It's wild, right? It's wild.
I know there's so many people just waiting for me to
keep
to
waiting.
Get her out of that top 5. I can't. She doesn't need to be there. Just get someone new in there. It's like, I don't care. It makes me. I keep it coming.
Yeah,
I love making people mad.
It fuels you. Yeah.
Oh, I love it.
It's pretty amazing.
I'm not a people pleaser.
Yeah. What do they say? A man that is friends to everyone is an enemy to himself.
Yeah.
So.
And I would never be an enemy to myself. I love myself.
Yeah, exactly. So don't appease people.
Exactly.
But anything else? Final thoughts on
I would ask you, Adam, what do you think we could have done better, and what did you think we killed it at?
You know what? This is one that I'm walking away from saying that there's not much more we could have done. Mm-hmm. I don't. Cause that's what I always do that, right? Analyze the holes. Where's the holes? Plug the holes, right? I thought, going into this prep, the holes were this. Is Ashley going to be lean enough to be confident eating those carbs and fats before the show? Is she going to have the confidence? And if she softens up a little bit, will she be confident on stage and be radiant on stage, or will she think she's not there, right? mentally, right? So that's the things I think about when I'm like, okay, how many should we have to be within that safe margin, not only for your look, but for your confidence. Don't want you to be confident when you're there. How many carbs should you have and fat should you have where you're not bloated still when we're pushing it at the end, right? Too, like I need you to feel like you have a small waist, even if you visually do have a small waist, right? So, because that radiates, that's on stage. I think we did that exactly, probably close to the max that we could have. Going into the prep, I was thinking, the variables were, okay, how much is this sleep going to affect us? That was what I was thinking a lot of. But, you pushed through and you did a great job, and you did a great job with it. And other than that, really, your posing was awesome. I don't think that needed to change at all. I think that you really killed it. You've been really studious of that, and you've really put time and effort into it. And you did a few things different on stage, and you didn't get flustered when doing a few things different on stage too, which is really awesome. There's just not really anything. I mean, this is one of the few times where I'm like, I think you did as best as you could have, right? I kind of think you did, and I think that too with Phoebe's prep too, how she came through. I think that she is better than she was last year, which is the most important thing. She's fuller. She did what the judges asked. She was lean, and there's not, looking at her physique at the end, I was like, there's really not much more we could have done. That's right. It is what it is, and just wasn't her day, which is still did really good. Top 15 in the world is amazing, but 11th place is crazy good. Anyone who can ever get 11th is that's awesome. Right. But and you're talking 11th in the world, so number one UK girl.
That's still great.
Yeah. And so, but it's could she have played? There's arguments that she could have placed a little higher, but it wasn't her day for that. But I'm still really happy with that prep, because there's not anything where I missed. And last year she got 7th. I actually walked away from that last year saying, you know what, she could have been a little fuller. I think I could have brought her a tiny bit fuller last year. But then, so I walk away from that one thinking maybe we could have got 6th. I don't think much higher than 6th last year. Maybe we could have gotten, but this year, I think she was actually pretty nailed. So it's one of those things where I don't care where anyone places, as long as we can walk away being okay, I didn't make any major mistakes,
right?
And I feel like we kind of nailed it, on both. I was really happy with that. However, those things went. Yeah.
Everything fell into place really nicely. I agree. There's not much more I could have done either. I'm pretty satisfied. I think, a few stage IQ mistakes, I tend to be I don't know, sometimes to get in the habit of being a little too more forward facing, it should be a little more profile, things like that. And then also I noticed too in finals, one of my hairs was sticking up. When I had a little piece of hair sticking up.
Like a noticeable one or just a strand?
To me,
okay.
I noticed it, but like I said, every show will have a little, you can't, there's no such thing as being 100% perfect. So something's going to happen, your hair gets stuck on your shoulder, or you step wrong in that, or stumble there, or do this or that. So, it is what it is. I'm learning though. So, I wouldn't change a thing if I were to roll the dice again. If I had the option to roll the dice again and do it all over, maybe I'll do better, maybe I'll do worse. Would I do it? Nope, I wouldn't. I want to keep it. I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm satisfied. There might be a chance I could do better, maybe, but why would I take that risk? I'm satisfied. Everything's great.
Awesome. And I think people need to rehear it. We were just shooting for a first call out. We were hopeful. We were if you get the first call out, we're ecstatic.
Yes.
Even if it was an 8-person first call out, we're hey, if you get in that first call out, we're cool.
Oh yeah, it's already a win if I got in the first call.
Yeah, so. Yes, she has the resume of no one has her resume, but that's not we're realistic. This is Bikini. Anyone's day can go from champion to 7th. They do not care. Sometimes people will be oh, well, because it's Ashley, right? Oh, because it's Ashley, and I'm you guys. They do not care who you are.
Look at other Olympia champions.
Yeah. You're off. It is
they don't care.
They will axe you. They do not care.
What you look like that day. It doesn't have anything to do with your name, your number, your previous history. They don't care. It's how you look that day, as it should be.
Yeah.
It doesn't have anything to do with anything else. They don't care your Instagram following. They don't care if you've won the Olympia prior. Nope.
Yeah.
Nope. It's how you look at that day, at that moment, standing in front of them in your poses, not anything else.
Yeah. It's a brutal sport, especially at the Olympia. You just don't know what's going to happen. I've seen champions look pretty similar to how they looked the year before and place way lower. And I was how do you know? Man, this is brutal.
Right.
Yeah. So it's a tough one. So Yeah, congrats in there.
Thank you.
Hang in
And
there.
thank you, Kimber, for this cute little like gift. She came in and decorated. I got congratulations. I got a box of protein bars, which you guys know I'm a protein bar connoisseur. I love protein bars. It's like so good to me. So she has the hookup. She knows good protein bars. She got protein bars, drink mixes, balloons. I feel so special.
Yeah.
Yay! What a great way to just Oh my gosh. Another decoration for the gym.
Yeah.
I love it.
It's crazy. And then any other news you'll have coming up soon?
I'll keep you guys posted. Maybe I'll be done with the season. Maybe not. We'll see. I got to see how my body's going to respond. We're going to do a check-in on Wednesday, see how I'm looking, how I'm feeling, kind of, because I think it's silly to make a decision right now because, one, I'm frazzled. My mind is like still hasn't settled down from the weekend, right? I'm still like on cloud nine, just like replaying it. So I don't know how, like, if that adrenaline will drop and I'll want to continue on or not. But also, most importantly, my physique. Let's see how my physique looks because, I just competed 2 days ago. I flew all day yesterday, and I had a lot of snacks yesterday. I did. So I didn't really go out I went to the Athlete Gala, but I didn't really celebrate with, like, cheesecake or anything. But I do like snacks. I like to sample things. So me and Adam were sampling snacks on the plane. But they were healthy snacks,
Yeah.
They were healthy snacks. I bought $75 worth of airplane snacks. And we were munching on the plane. So like those chicken and waffle protein chips, like different kind of protein bars and things like that.
What are those chips called?
Wild, WYLD.
Those chips they're my favorite.
The number one ingredient is chicken breast.
Yeah. I need to get a high supply of those. We
chips. Love those. Send them to the contest.
Yeah. Once in a while, I'll get boxes of like random things out here. But those are my favorite chips right now. They're awesome.
Good.
Yeah.
But so I definitely enjoyed yesterday. I didn't have a lot though, but I had snacks. So I'm more of a snacker than a big meal person.
Yeah.
I just like to. My taste buds are like curious. It's like, I haven't had this in a while. What does this taste like? So I'm a little nibbler. But anyway. Let's see how I'm looking on Wednesday, and we'll kind of go from there and have a little game plan. So
yeah, and the
world is ours, though.
Yes,
we can do whatever we want, go wherever we want. Life is good.
Yeah, I'm gonna do a Olympia show review, not just the bikini. Of course, I'm gonna do the bikini one, but like Olympia show review and like all the things that have changed. I will say. The Olympia did the judges did an awesome job. I'm the happiest at this Olympia what I've seen with every division. You had the fitness, you had the second place girl in fitness who wasn't like built like a woman, so they full built out, right? You could see, and it's like that. I think that's something that was always hindering fitness because you have these really muscular, dried out women getting on stage and dried out in terms of like, dry for the show.
Yeah.
And then they're doing like these extreme sport tumbles and this and that. Like, of course, they're not going to be as good when they're really, really big, muscular women at the same time.
It's not efficient for tumbling.
Yeah.
You're carrying unnecessary muscle around to jump and,
And bodybuilder muscle, it's just not as movable,
Right.
That's why, you don't, it's funny because you'll see, when you see like fighters, like boxers or MMA guys, and you'll see this like jack dude walk in, like he like loses like 90% of the time.
Right.
They're
it's hard to
mobile,
be
they can't
agile.
Breathe as good. Yeah.
It's hard to be agile when you're big and muscular like that. If you look at athletes that do like agility athletes are not like super buff.
Yeah.
But I like that too. So
good.
Taylor, I think is her name.
Taylor. Good direction.
Congratulations. I love that. And I think that's also encouraging too because women coming out of collegiate gymnastics and collegiate cheerleading, man, they got skills.
Yeah.
Holy crap, they got skills. They got fresh skills. They've been doing it. And now if that's kind of like maybe they see her, they're like, okay, I think I can look like her.
Yeah.
Like, because I think that could have been in the past, like hindering them thinking about it. Like, I can do every skill that girl is doing, except for I could never be that big.
Yeah.
Or it would take me 5 years to become that big. Do you know what I'm saying?
And you have to have the crossover of desiring to be that big too.
Yes.
Yes. which is rare. I mean, there's a lot of girls even with bikini standards of today, they don't want to be that big. They want to be fit, but like, oh, I don't want to do contest because I don't want to get my shoulders that big.
Yeah.
So it's like that's definitely a factor when you have a, more girly athletic type.
Yeah.
That's doing gymnastics. It's a very girly sport, and they go into like, oh, I don't want to be that jacked. Like that's a big extreme jack. So I'm really happy to see that. I think that'll be that's going to be a catalyst for the sport going to where it always should have gone, which is, for years, I mean, since I've been doing this, fitness has been kind of like a sport where everyone's trying to talk about saving it. Oh, we're going to save fitness. We're going to save fitness. It's like, we are there. And that's one thing I really like about the fitness girls is that they're really tight niched and they're really like all about each other. It's different than any other division. Like their community is so tight because they're all on the same page. Like we want to make fitness shine. We want to show everyone how fun it is. We want to show everyone. So I love that. I always love that about it. But the thing that was hindering is that. So seeing Taylor, I'm like, you guys, that's the answer right there. Like if people are winning with that physique, that's a type of physique that can do these sports. And you're going to get, what's going to happen is you're going to see a whole nother level of these fitness, like acrobatics coming in. And that's going to make it more watchable for a guy like me who's not into fitness, right? I'm not super into it. But when I see these high level performances, I'm like, oh crap, this is fun, right? I'm like exciting. So you're going to start seeing higher level stuff come in because the physiques will allow a higher level. There's a physique for everything, a physique for track. You take a track physique who's like sprinting on a track and you get them into a marathon, they're not going to do as good. So there's a physique specifically for every sport. And then the other one I was really happy about was men's physique, Ryan Terry, right? I was so excited to see that because I think that is an aesthetic, very hard to achieve, but realistic physique for a men's physique, not a full-on bodybuilder physique where you see that sometimes. So I'm like, and they're already doing the weight divisions. They're talking about the weight divisions already for next year in men's physique. So I'm like, the direction that it's going, I'm like stoked about. So there's so many divisions. I was just so happy with how they went. So props to the Olympia judges. You guys killed it this year. And it's a hard thing to do, pick the world champion and the representative of your sport for the year. I can imagine. Imagine their pressure too.
Yeah, and props to them because it is hard to sit that long and pay very close attention, but they get the job done and they do it well, and we always get feedback. I'll have to get more feedback to you this week. I just, obviously after Olympia, you're not going to stay around and get it. So I need to make some emails, but I think we know what we need to do. I think I can see it personally, but so.
Yeah.
Oh, so another one of the books.
Yeah, congratulations, man. It's a nice weight to be lifted off the shoulders. Yes. It was like
a relief.
I feel like I was doing like 800-pound squats and I just re-racked it. I can't do 800-pound squats, by the way, guys. I feel like I did it. I just re-racked it and I'm like, that's nice off the shoulders.
We passed. The final exam, we passed it. Hallelujah.
Yeah, it was a good one. So I guess with that, guys, is that it?
I think that's it. By the way, hold on. My suit, my favorite suit ever.
Yeah.
I need a name for it. It is the greenest green I've ever seen. Maybe I'll just call it that. The greenest green I've ever seen.
I just thought of the same. Right when you said it, I was like, it should be the name too.
I was thinking about that yesterday, but I'm like, the only thing is it's quite long. The greenest green I've ever. This is a lot of syllables. But Angel Competition Bikinis, you freaking nailed that one. Yeah. I said to them, give me the greenest green you've ever seen. Do you know the Wrigley's 5 gum? Do you know the Wrigley's 5 gum? The spearmint flavor, the wrapper on that? Yeah. That's the same color as my suit. The most vivid green you can get. I loved it. It was my favorite. They nailed it. Angel Competition Bikinis, code AshleyKFit to save 20%. Thank you. And if you have a name suggestion, please drop in the comments.
I like the greenest green you've ever seen.
The greenest green you've ever seen. It was gorgeous.
Yeah.
I was like, here's the thing. I was undecided, right? You guys know I was undecided. I was like, red or green. They made that suit for me kind of last minute because they ordered a material for it, like a special material. And then I opened it up. Right when I took it out of the bag, I'm like, that's my answer. I'm not even second guessing. That's it. You know, when you see it and you're like, I'm like, there is no question. I had like 6 suits lined up that I could have wore that they already made for me that I haven't worn yet. Reds, greens. But when they sent me this last one, like a few days before I left, I opened it. I'm like, nope, this is it. This is it. It's gorgeous. It's beautiful. Sorry. Anyway.
While you were thinking of that, I had one more thing. I had to say thank you to all you guys too that showed up. Yeah, it was cool. Like I don't know how many people I met over the weekend, but got to be close to 100. It was just so many.
And sorry if you wanted to take a picture, but we were running to the meetings because I feel bad because I had a few of those. Like they were like, go take a picture, and I'm already like, I'm power walking. I'm like, I'm late to my meeting.
Yeah, that was so. Yeah, that is.
Sorry.
It sucks. It always looks bad, when we have to do that. And I did it. I stuffed you a couple times where you didn't know it either. Like where someone was like, "Hey, can I take a picture?" But you're like walking ahead of me.
Oh.
I was like, "Sorry, we're like late." So I apologize, and it's just
I hope you still like us.
better when
we
I
still
do
like
it.
you.
I don't. I feel more bad when you do it, but when I do it, it's kind of like a buffer, you know. So,
Well, we apologize.
yeah, but
We'll-
we are very sorry. We try to do
hopefully
as
get
much
the
as we
picture.
can, but there was times where we were running through.
And you know me. If you know me, you know I stress about time already. So the fact that I'm not there early, I'm already like
Yeah.
anxiety, stress. Oh my god. So yeah, but thank you. Hopefully get a picture again. But
Yes.
it was nice meeting everyone.
Yeah, thank you guys so much for everything for the whole year. And I know it's not the end of the year, but it kind of is like a restart to like, I look at the seasons as like
Yeah, you're right.
Olympia to Olympia kind of for me. So I'm like, yeah, that's the end of the season. It's kind of like, it's like the Super Bowl, but then the games start right back.
Yeah.
So yeah, with that, guys, thank you so much for everything, for all the support this year. And we will talk to you later.